EMD Jeeps and SD9s are locomotives that helped revolutionize American railroading in the 1950s. They disappeared from most Class I railroads in the 1970s and 80s. Into the 1990s, significant numbers of them could be found at work on one Western railroad, as Pentrex salutes SP's Geeps and Cadillacs, vintage workhorses. In the spring of 1994, Geeps and Cadillacs had returned to SP's mainline. Here we see the 4366 West, the RVFRL, or the Roseville-to-Fresno Local, approaching the American River Bridge in Sacramento. Pulling the train are 3 SD9s and 2 Geep 9s. The scenes of Geeps and Cadillacs at work on the Southern Pacific Railroad were captured on SP's Fresno line, which runs from Bakersfield to Sacramento. The Central California route travels through the heart of California's 400-mile-long Central Valley. This is part of SP's north-south main line between Los Angeles and Portland, Oregon. This show chronicles some of the last mainline and branch operations of Geeps and Cadillacs in the spring of 1994. For several months, these engines were regularly assigned as power for the Roseville-to-Fresno Local, which runs daily in each direction. Even though they are called locals, these are long and heavy mainline trains, some in excess of 100 cars. For a short period of time, solid sets of Geeps and Cadillacs were at work on the mainline, much as they had been in the 1950s and 60s. Besides the mainline action, we'll follow a set of Geeps on the Lodi Local as it travels over the Ione Branch out of Galt. At the end of the line in the Sierra foothills town of Ione, the local interchanges cars with Baldwin number 9 of the Amador Central. On the return trip, we'll ride in the cab of Geep 3742 as the train drops downgrade, returning to the main line at Galt. This was the last hurrah for SP's aging fleet of Geeps and Cadillacs. By early summer of 1995, all of the remaining GP9s, SD7s, and SD9s were placed in storage. With the exception of a few SD7s that were being used in the yard at Roseville late in the year, the book has closed on the 40-year history of SP's Geeps and Cadillacs, vintage workhorses. Visit Pentrex on the World Wide Web at www.pentrex.com.